All right, so again, welcome to Oceanside Library's first ever virtual art reception. Before we start, I just wanted to share with everyone, here, let me just open it up. We have, I'm sorry, I'm losing my place here. Okay. I wanted to let everyone know that the ballots for this year's budget is in the mail, and some may have already arrived in your mailbox. The library's budget is Proposition 3. They must be returned by mail to the school district office no later than 5 p.m. on June 9th. So just so everyone's aware, because this is a different way of doing things, you can find out all about the budget and Vision 2020 at oceansidevision2020.com. And so here it is, vision2020.com if you want to check out all the bond info. And since a mailed ballot is new to all of us, we put on this really easy video on our library's YouTube channel that you can check out just to see how to fill out the form and how to submit it. And if you check out our YouTube channel, you'll see that we have a ton of programs. In case you missed it, you can log on to our channel and check it out afterwards. We do record most of our programs, so you'll find most of them there, just not like discussions or some smaller programs. All right, so now the moment we've all been waiting for. This is the Oceanside Library's lower level, our virtual art gallery. And the name is a play on words because our in-house exhibit is on the lower level at Oceanside Library. So some of our clever librarians thought up of this cool name. And all the credit for this wonderful website goes to our tech librarian who's here tonight, Jamie Albanese. Thank you so much, Jamie, because this is such an amazing website. I mean, if you guys have checked it out already, if this is your first time, you can see just the professionalism that went into this, and it's just so sleek and gorgeous. And your artwork makes it even more gorgeous. So thank you so much for contributing. So this is the home page. Then if you go up here to exhibitions, there's the main gallery, which we'll get to, the teen gallery, and a kids gallery. So the kids had their own reception today at 4 o'clock, which is really nice. So if you all want to smile a little bit, I would definitely check out the kids gallery. It's really nice. But today we will be featuring our teen and adult artists. So before I get to our teen artists, these will be the adult artists that we'll be talking about today. There's introducing our featured artist, Earl Dawson, local artist Caroline Burt, local artist Daniel Shy, Barbara Labosco, Will Brown, Jackie Miller-Feldbaum, Victoria Jorgelwich, and Gerard Flannery. So thank you so much for contributing. But first, I would like to start with a very talented young artist that's with us tonight. And that is Linda Fustel. Linda, if you just want to turn your mic on, you want to come on. Linda is in 10th grade. She is such a talented embroidery artist. Linda, do you want to say anything? Is there anything you'd like to share with us before I show the beautiful photos? Oh, let me see. Let me go to full view. I can't see Linda. Here, let me unmute you. There you are. Go ahead, Linda.
Hello.
Thank you so much for coming tonight.
Thank you for doing this. This is really cool.
Well, you're very cool. I mean, check this out. Can you tell us a little bit about your embroidery hobby, when you started, what you do?
So I've been sewing for a pretty long time, but I started embroidering about a year ago, and I've been trying to improve my technique over the last year, and I just really enjoy it. I typically embroider things that I just really like books, movies, musicals.
That's a great idea. I like that. And is there a reason you chose these 4? Are these your favorites or?
Well, I chose these 3 because these are some of my favorites. The first two are more recent ones, and the other one is my one of my older ones,
I
but I
like this
still
one.
really love it.
Oh, this is great. Thank you so much. And you can find more of Linda's embroidery work at her Instagram page, which you can find a link of on our website. So definitely follow Linda's Instagram because this is really, really talented work. Thank you, Linda. Would you like to say anything else?
I think I'm good.
All right, great. And does anyone have any questions for Linda? And you could turn your mic on or you could write in the chat, whatever you'd like. No? Anyone? All right. So let me just make sure that I could see the chat. Okay. Let's go to, sorry everyone. I'm just trying to find the chat and I can't seem to find it. So, all right. I hope there's no questions.
There was nothing in the chat.
Thank you, Jamie. Because
No problem.
I can't find it. I see.
I got you.
Oh, thank you. If you could let me know, that would be great. All right, so now let's start with our local resident artists, and then we'll make our way up to our featured artist. All right, so to start, let me just see if Caroline is with us tonight, if she's late. All right, so Caroline, right? Just making sure you're not here. Speak up if you are. All right, no. So Caroline couldn't make it with us tonight, but I would definitely recommend checking out her work. She's our first local artist featured on the page, The Abominable Mystery. She does some really cool effects with her photography, and it's really great work. So definitely for anyone who would like to check it out, this is her work. She's under the local artist page. All right, so our first resident artist that is here tonight, Daniel Shy, if you want to come on.
Hi,
Tell us a
can
little
you
bit about
hear
your work.
me?
Yes, we can hear you. Hello, Daniel.
Okay. I hope you don't mind something near a tree with respect
Daniel,
to steering.
Daniel, I can't hear you very well. It's breaking up and it's like slowing down the sound. I don't know if that's on your end or me. Anyone else? Is it clear for anyone else? Yeah, okay, no.
I
So
heard you hear me okay?
no, I can't, Daniel. I'm sorry. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
I'm sorry, I can't. Do you want to try logging off and logging back on and I can just come back? We can come back later. I can go on to the next artist. Yep, okay. All right, he's going to do that. Okay. Thank you everyone for your patience. Oh, wait. I think he's back. Daniel? No, we can't hear you very well. No. Yeah, we cannot hear you. So if you want to maybe log off and log back on, I think that would be, yeah, try that. Okay. All right. Okay, let's go back to the next artist. Barbara could not be with us here today, but also she has wonderful photography. Definitely check out her beach scenes, her sunsets. They are just gorgeous. So really beautiful work. If you're into photography, definitely go and check that out. All right, Will, would you like to come on? Will Brown, A Day in Kyoto. Please tell us a little bit about this exhibit.
Sure. So these are just 4 out of hundreds of photos that I took on a trip to Japan last year. And every day of the trip, I would say to myself, this is the most beautiful place that I've ever seen. But the day in Kyoto that these photos are from really was the most beautiful day. And it was just basically 12 hours walking around different shrines and temples. And I was just taken aback by how green and beautiful everything was, even though this was the start of November.
Really?
Yeah, it looks like spring or, maybe September, but no, this was pretty late in the year. The first photo was from someplace called Kinkakuji, which is also known as the Golden Pavilion. And I was just walking by when I saw the way that the light was hitting it was perfectly. I saw that there was a woman dressed as a geisha being photographed, and it just, it was one of those moments I was like, this might not be, an authentic geisha experience, but this is what, like, this feels like how I want to remember this trip. I don't know if that makes
Cool.
sense.
No, it does.
Um,
That's really cool.
so I stopped and just took a photo with my iPhone because that's all I had with me that day.
Nice.
um,
That's a great picture for an iPhone picture. That's fantastic.
yeah, I had to upgrade because I didn't want to bring all my lenses for my DSLR. Um, this is one of my favorite photos, which was just walking around a bamboo forest. There were these two little Buddhist statues, maybe about 8 inches to a foot tall. So I got on the ground, people walking around me because I wanted to get this angle that made them seem like they were life-size statues amongst a giant bamboo forest. Um, but yeah, that's just again another iPhone photo.
Nice. This is gorgeous. Wow. This one is breathtaking. I love this photo.
This was another temple, and yeah, just I really love the way that the light was reflected off of the pond, even though you couldn't see the sun. I was kind of chasing sunset because I needed to make sure to get into the shrine area before it closed. Um, but what you don't see here is that there were actually koi fish swimming around this pond if you got closer.
Oh, nice. And this one.
And this was actually where I started the day. I'm a big fan of lens flare. I don't know if you could tell from it being in 3 out of the 4 photos that were shared, but this is just kind of mossy hills at another temple with the sun poking through the tree there.
Nice. It's really gorgeous. I like how you captured that. And we have a question too from a patron. Did the geisha pose for you or was that by chance?
That was just by chance. They must have been having somebody else take their photo from a different angle. And from where I was standing, it just lined up perfectly with the way that the sun was beaming and the building was kind of glowing.
Very nice. Thank you so much, Will. These are
Oh,
gorgeous photos and so professional. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. Oh, I remember using lens flares in a lot of my early Photoshop works, Gerard said. Can you explain to us what lens flare is?
me or Gerard?
Go, whichever, Will, if you'd like to, or Gerard, whichever.
I mean, I can't give a very technical view of it, but
I didn't mean to put you on
yeah,
the spot, Will. Sorry.
uh, basically in most of the photos, you'll kind of see the way that the light coming from the sun. Can we go back to the Tenryuji photo? I think that's the clearest one.
This one.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can actually see individual rays of light coming out of the light source there,
Right.
kind of being dispersed across the rest of the photo. But yeah, all of these photos were untouched, just what I got in that moment. But if Gerard wants to talk a little bit more about it, I'd love to
I mean,
hear.
it's just it's kind of a reaction of the sun's light hitting the actual lens of the camera, so hence the lens flare. So it's just a sort of a natural reaction from direct light reacting with the lens that you're using for the camera. So
Oh,
it sort of
cool.
creates this sort of like the rays shooting out, or sometimes you might see like little spots like in the bottom of the photo here, like under the tree. Like, yeah, right. You see how that little sort of hazy lens, like a flare, I would say. So
Yeah.
yeah, so it's just a reaction to light in lenses. So it makes things look cool too. Like, you know, a lot of people used to use it in artworks and stuff like that. Just like, you know, people like shiny things. So
Right, right.
a lot of early Photoshop, a lot of people, is an actual effect you can do in Photoshop called lens flare. So it creates this look, and they usually use it on like metallic objects and stuff like that. So.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you both for explaining that to us novices. So really appreciate it.
Learn something new
Cool.
every day.
Exactly. Oh, well, thank you. And thank you, Will, again, for contributing to our wonderful first virtual gallery. It's an honor.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. All right. Next up, we have Jackie Miller-Feldbaum. If you want to come on, Jackie.
I'm here, unmuted. I think you got me.
That's great. So, Jackie, go ahead. Introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about your work.
Well, I still laugh, and I think it's very interesting that I chose wildlife to present here. First of all, thank you so much for doing this. Wonderful, wonderful idea, and I'm thrilled to be a part of it. So for years, I've been chasing the sun with my iPhone, happily, until, of course, I met somebody who asked me if I was a sun chaser, and I said, well, I guess, what is that? Until I found all the Facebook groups and started taking pictures and wanted to learn how to truly shoot on manual. And slowly but surely, I am doing that, loving other people's wildlife photos and thinking I'd never get a snapshot like that, and just continuously pushing myself and learning. So I chose the easy part for me when selecting pictures was, I'll take some of my sunrises, sunsets. And I said, no, but I really like these wildlife pictures. And I thought it would be a very nice introduction to the things that are out there in our waters and on our land that most people don't even realize or know.
Exactly. And who doesn't love wildlife photos, right?
Oh my
Who doesn't
God.
love photos of animals? So here, let me pull them up so you can tell us about them. Oh, where did you get this raccoon?
Oh yeah, well, so that's the first thing about wildlife. We really do protect wildlife, and locations are never shared, unfortunately.
Gotcha.
So I will just basically say that the photos are mostly on the South Shore, because that's where we are. I do venture, I do drive, but most of them are South Shore, Nassau County. As far as the raccoon, this was actually taken last year. And every time I keep going back to try and get another snap this year, I see her actually. I see her in there, but she has not poked her head out for me yet, and certainly has not waved or stretched or whatever you want to call that. But she is right now there in the tree with her babies. So it's very,
cool.
very, very, very exciting to see when you get that opportunity. And this was I walked in there with a friend who was showing me the spot, and just happened to be lucky this one time. But you can go time and time and time again, spend a lot of hours and go home with nothing. So, so yes. So I was very, very lucky with this raccoon picture.
Oh, she's beautiful.
Yes.
Oh, harbor seal.
That's a love that goes back for years. We are fortunate enough that we actually have a boat so that we can travel the waters and see them a little bit more up close and personal. There are a couple of boats that you can charter through the winter months to be able to see them swimming in our local waters. And this, I'll give you a little bit of information, not to keep Field 10 is a seal walk at Jones Beach, that you can see them out there swimming. You will not necessarily get them hauled out, but you can see them. I know even now, some of the beaches, the gray seals are still around, and well, they're leaving now, but they do haul out on the beach, on the Oceanside. So it's a matter of just being out there in the right time. And there's harbor seal. So we do have a few different seal varieties that do come to our waters, and always exciting.
It is. I love seeing the seals. Now, these dolphins aren't from Long Island, are they?
They most certainly are.
Oh, wow. That's
They are
awesome.
out there. Dolphins and whales are definitely out there. These dolphins, I know, we were out there when you asked, because they can obviously move. They're not going to be, nobody can bother them. They are being seen right outside of Long Beach. From the beach, from the boardwalk, you can see the beach is right there. So
True.
they were pretty close to the water there. And yeah, this is a once in a lifetime shot, clearly. We
This
happened
is
to see
fantastic.
the dolphin jump. And I was like, oh my God, did you see that? Did you get that? Oh my God, And I just poised myself, hoping that there would be another jump. And 100% there was.
Perfect.
And I had the
Perfect.
camera ready for that one.
Oh, I always get so jealous when people tell me they've saw dolphins at Long Beach. Oh,
I did
I have
too
myself, I've never seen them.
I did too until. So this is a red fox kit. There are foxes certainly throughout Long Island. I've been lucky enough to come upon them in upstate New York, but this fox kid was about 2 weeks old. A couple of family dens around, and yeah, they're adorable. I don't even know what else to say.
Oh,
But
they really are.
yeah.
He looks like a puppy. Angela said, this baby fox is so precious. I always look forward to seeing my friend Jackie's wildlife photos. Makes my day. Oh, thank you, Angela. That was such a nice comment.
Thanks,
All
Angie.
right. Oh, wow. What a beautiful owl.
So that is our snowy owl that does winter here on Long Island and many other parts that do come down from the Arctic somewhere around December into about March. They will make a home here for food, and they can be found throughout. You're walking and searching for them, but when you find them, they are just majestic. I sat there for hours just in her
Wow.
presence, and you can tell that it is a female because of all the coloring. The males are usually mostly white.
Oh, cool. Well,
So
see, we
yeah,
just learned something else. Oh, well, thank you so much, Jackie. Those
oh
were
my gosh,
gorgeous, gorgeous wildlife photos. We really appreciate you contributing this to our gallery. Thank you so much.
thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Any other questions or comments for Jackie before I move on to the next artist? No?
No questions for Jackie, but can you hear me now? Because I know
Yes.
you couldn't hear me before.
Yes, Daniel, you're actually very clear. So let me come up to your exhibit now so we can go in order. All right.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead, Daniel, if you want to introduce yourself. I'm glad it's working now. Sorry
I'm
about
gonna
that
try
before.
again. I just have to. I wrote something to read, so let me see. Hopefully, it'll work. 1 second, please.
Okay. Daniel, just while you're looking that up, I just want to answer. Someone asked, where was the fox found? So Jackie was saying that, to protect the wildlife, she can't say exactly where it was, but she said that most of the shots were on the south shore of Long Island. Jackie, if you want to, right, was that South Shore, the fox? But you can't say exactly where.
North Shore, Middle Island.
Cool.
Yeah, Middle Island.
Oh, so
But
cute.
again, they're no longer there, but they were, Robert Moses Beach. I mean, they are just in and around and throughout Long Island, wherever they find a safe home.
Right. I've seen them on Fire Island. Beautiful there. Well, they're so cute there. You got to stay away from them, though.
Yeah.
But thank you, Jackie. Thanks for answering the question. All right, Daniel, whenever you're ready.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I can't find the document, and for some reason, all I see on my screen now is the word Zoom. But I know what the art looks like, so I'll do my best in describing it.
Okay, before I start, I'll just let you know that if you go to the bottom of your desktop, if you click on the little Zoom icon, it should pull us all back up.
Okay. Oh,
and then you should see us again.
okay.
All right, so let me start at your first image. Go ahead.
Well, this image was used in an advertisement of the Anchor House of Artists in Northampton, where I'm a member. Um, and it was a company. Well,
Oh, sorry. Let me go back. Go ahead.
let's see. I know it's written the description in the on the website here, but I'll just
What?
say,
This right here?
um, yeah. So they're called drum face portraits, which was entitled by Michael Tillier, a teacher of mine in Northampton. Um, it was called Embarrassment, Her Beauty, the original portrait. And then a therapist friend of mine who was viewing one of my showings in Northampton thought that I misspoke and said, "Oh, is it embarrassment or beauty?" And I contended, no, it's embarrassment, her beauty, because the subject, kind of struggles with embarrassment and beauty. So, I wrote a whole sheet last night so I wouldn't have to come up with all this on the spot.
Sorry,
Um,
Daniel.
but
Do you want me to go to the second one? Should I go from there?
You can leave all of them up. I'm just sort of thinking of what to say here. The orange, the first and the third that you see, um, are are sort of orangish, for the Bahrainian and Irish flags.
Hmm.
And the second one, oh, you can leave that one. That one is sort of in Monet's style, and it represents the color of the moon with its sort of pink and purple and blue and white. And so
Very cool.
I don't know. And that one, I'm a big Nora Jones fan, and this one reminds me of her picture on the back cover of her first album.
Cool.
And the second one, if you could go one more to the right, this is sort of a stoic image, and the red is, I think of it in terms of the red skin of Native Americans and the olive outline for which many people think of natives as peace or peaceful. And the uh, pencil background there too, in terms of these things being represented through words and not just through imagery and vision. So they're semi-permanently entitled drum face portraits, and they have been described both as impressionist and expressionist.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah.
Thanks. And so
What
sure.
are they?
Yeah.
Are they pastel? Or I mean,
Yeah.
like, are you using oil pastels or paint, or what was your?
They're mostly pastel. These are 5 of a set of 36 that were shown at my first art show some years ago, a few
Right.
years back. And there's pencil here, there's pastel. I'm not sure if they're oil pastel, because when you go to the store, there's all kinds of different stuff, and sometimes it says, sometimes it doesn't say. Um, but yeah,
Do
sometimes yeah, sure.
Do you have a preference for what you like to draw with? Because I know that the first time we met when you were a resident artist in the Oceanside Library, you had created it on the computer. It was the like the line drawings, but you
Yeah.
made them on the computer. So you have different modalities to do your art. Which one do you like the
There,
most?
there are a few mediums. What you were talking about was done on laptop,
Right.
um, and they're entitled Jet Force drawings. These are pastel, like I said. I also do some stuff in charcoal and pencil and watercolor, um,
Nice.
colored pencil, Sharpie. I have my box right here in back of the computer. Pens. I have a few different series, and these are kind of my baby. You know, in terms of it being called iconic. That's just my icon. You know, that's what I.
Right. Oh, well, thank you, Daniel.
Thanks.
Does anyone have any questions? Uh, oh, Kirk said, very evocative work, Daniel. Excellent.
Oh,
Thank
hi,
you, Kirk.
Kirk. I played in a band with Kirk.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you for coming, Kirk. And Angela, I hope I answered your question because I had the same question that you said, Daniel, you use a mix of oil pastels and some other pastels, right? But you used pastel was your medium for this one.
Yes, and it's my primary medium.
Yeah, cool. All right. Thank you so much, Daniel. Thank you for
Thanks a
contributing your
lot.
work for our gallery. We really appreciate it.
All right.
All right. So next up, let's see. After Jackie, we have Victoria. Victoria Jorgowicz, if you want to come on. Do I have to unmute you? Let me double check. All right. There you go. Hey, Victoria.
Okay. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for for contributing your work to our gallery. So go ahead, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Victoria. I actually had an art show at the Oceanside Library in August. I believe that was my first one there, and the majority of the work there was done with my iPhone. But I have a very expensive camera, but as again, it's always easier to carry my iPhone where I am. But I started taking more with the regular phone, and what I'm doing is wirelessly transferring them to my iPhone and editing them because with my time, well, now I have lots of time, but prior to this, I have a dog walking business, so my days were pretty hectic. I didn't really have time to sit on the computer.
Right.
So I'm not coming on. It's just I see you.
Oh, you're on for us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's just because, are you on your phone? That's why.
No, I'm on my iPad.
Oh, yeah, sometimes they select which one for you to see. But don't worry, we can see and hear you.
Oh, okay, cool.
All right, so Victoria, I have your first image up, the one under the pier.
Yeah, that was actually in Fort Lauderdale. That was actually, if I'm not mistaken, an iPhone image, and then I actually did a little enhancement to it and made it more of a furry or fuzzy image just to give it a different effect, almost similar to a long exposure.
But I like that you got the water droplets and the waves and the water coming off the pier
Yeah.
too. It's really detailed. Oh,
That
moon one. Oh my God, this one's gorgeous.
was taken at Robert Moses, the very last parking field, actually right about when the pandemic started, because I was still going out in my car to do things, and that's where it took me that day. So
Wow.
That's what that one was all about. Again, that's a little bit of, magic.
All right. Ooh, this one's beautiful. Reflections.
That was through my regular camera. That was actually a Sorgetes lighthouse. We went on a trip that day and we were just photographing different different lighthouses all around, and upstate has some beautiful lighthouses, and this is actually a park that's about a half-mile walk to get to that lighthouse. And they actually have the tower is a bed and breakfast, so you could actually stay in the tower and sleep there, and then the lighthouse is out there at night.
Oh, wow. That's really cool.
Yeah, that was right near Sorgetes.
I love Saugerties. I've been up there for the Garlic Festival.
It's a good artsy town.
Yeah.
This one,
gorgeous.
The sun was coming through and I just incorporated some colors to it. Again, this one was actually taken with my iPhone. And I just incorporated some colors through it to give it that Italian look, for lack of a better word.
That's great. Oh, just beautiful. Oh, this one's really cool.
This was a regular photo that I incorporated into one of my apps. Again, I put the little blur in her statue, in her torch, because there was no light on her torch, or not at that day. It was probably one of the coldest days we've had this past April, May, I guess it was in May. I was in the city, and that was through the financial district. Had to be like 20 degrees out that one day, and it was great. Nobody was around. I was just able to take shots of everything.
Oh, well, this is a fantastic shot. I mean,
Thank you.
just superb. Yeah.
I like that one.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much, Victoria.
No worries.
Beautiful
Thanks
work.
again for letting me do this. I'm glad I saw it last minute. We were able to get it all together.
Yes, thank you so much. I know the power of email. And thank you to our tech librarian, Jamie, was able to put it up right away.
Job.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much.
You're welcome. And we've got some comments here in the chat. Angela said this is stunning. Joanne said beautiful. Earl said beautiful work. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
All right. So our next resident, we have Gerard Flannery. Gerard, if you want to come on.
All right. I got to go to the bathroom again.
Let me see if I have to unmute you.
No, I was muted.
You're good? Okay.
Yeah, I was muted.
Oh, Gerard, thank you so much for contributing your work as well. And what was cool about your work is that it gave us a little, something different, that it's graphic art. So it gives our patrons a little something else to look at when they come onto our gallery. So tell us a little bit about yourself before I show your pictures.
Well, I'm a graphic artist. I mainly work in the apparel industry. So, a lot of my art sort of work towards, going on apparel and stuff like that. I've been doing it for about 15 plus years. And then, working on computer with my art as well. So, it's something I wanted to pursue since I first got a hold of a computer and knew that I can mix my art with, combine the two. So.
Oh, well, you have really, really cool work. Let's check it out. So go ahead. Tell us a little bit about this one.
Oh, so these are some pieces I did for the two clients. You can kind of see in the name. One's for X Games and one was for Sketches. But I just liked, working with the first game, the first one, the X Games one. I like just creating the idea was to come up with a surf design and just to kind of show motion and stuff like that. So, I have fun creating the layout and then incorporating their name into a design that, would be likable for people in the genre, even though I've never surfed myself ever. So
no, me neither.
It was, I saw it as a challenge to kind of come up with a cool surf design for a person that hasn't surfed at all. So, and then the second one was another project I was tasked with was like coming up with a design that had a sort of a design within it. So if you look closer, you can see it's a skeleton, a skull head, but it's created using certain elements that, shows a different scene. So it's kind of like two things going on at once. So.
I love that. Those are usually my favorite kinds of like graphic art and images, that are two in one.
Yeah.
And this one's really cool. I love this. Oh, for Elmont High School.
Yes. So this is in here because this one is special, very special to me because I actually worked with the students in creating this logo. So it was a process showing them how artists come up with an idea, start with a sketch and then work with others in bringing those ideas together to create a finished project. So it was a step that I started, beginning and middle and end with the students. So that's why I put this in here. So it's special.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And great that you're bringing this work to students too, to young artists.
Yeah. So these two pieces, again, these were done for apparel, but I put them in here because they reminded, I'm from the Bronx and, I've been kind of an urban kid all my life. So my wife is from Oregon and she took me out to Oregon before. I've never been there. And it kind of opened my eyes to the great outdoors and wild adventures with a slice of urban stuff in it. So, that sort of gave me inspiration for creating these two outdoorsy chill pieces of artwork.
Oh, so cool. Oh, in Oregon. That's a state I'd like to visit for sure.
So this is just a collage of different sketches because I draw digitally on the iPad. So, you know, I like to, um, I can do pencil sketches and then go straight to color and stuff like that. So this is just a collection of like, you know, because I'm still learning at the same time of just different heads and playing around with colors and different line works and stuff like that. Various things that I can do within the, on my iPad.
Right.
So.
Well, Gerard, you're very talented. I mean, these drawings are they're perfect. I mean, it's gorgeous. And I really love the new iPad features that you can draw with the pencil.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And like you said, you can switch from colors and textures.
Yeah.
So it's great for artists today.
Yeah, you can go for like, you can do like a full, you know, full start sketch, the middle to finished piece, all within the, you know, all within one device. So I'm used to like,
It's
I
so
have like so
cool.
many pads and drew pencils, and I'm like losing stuff here and there. So being
Right.
introduced to, you know, what you can do on the iPad was just kind of mind blowing to me, and the stuff that, you know, and it just keeps getting better and better. So I'm like kind of a big advocate of like doing digital work, and, you know.
Right. Well, that's where the future's going. So definitely, yeah, keep playing with it. But it blows my mind too. I know what you mean.
So, and this is just another collage of like, again, a lot of this stuff, well, most of it, all of it was done digitally, but this is just a collage of like a lot of character designs and, you know, sketches I've done for clients and apparel and stuff like that. So, you know, I just wanted to show like a mixture of just the various different styles that I try to hit when coming up with different designs, you know, from cartoony to a little bit edgy to, you know, colorful. So.
You know, what I like about the collages is that it really shows your range, you know, and this must be great for when you know, are trying to get clients too for graphic
Yeah.
art. You could show them your range with these collages.
Yeah, that's what I try to do, just like stick a lot of that stuff in without overwhelm, you know, like showing all these separate pieces. It's like, oh, you know, let me just kind of make a cool collage.
Yeah. Oh, so cool. Oh, Jamie was saying she was typing the same thing as I said it. Will was asking, what program do you use for
So,
these to create these?
so to do a lot of the sketches and drawings, there's a program on the iPad called Procreate. And
Right.
it's like it's an app that was specifically made for the iPad, so that the developers they went like they can go all out on just focus on and making it like the best. And then I basically use that program to do a lot of these drawings and stuff. And then it's so easy to send the finished product. You know, I can just shoot it straight to my computer, or if I want to take it to Photoshop to manipulate it even more, I can just send it straight to there and do that. But like, I do all my, from sketch to inking to coloring, I do it all in the iPad. So.
Very cool. Even the oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even realize there was
Oh
one
yeah,
more. Hold on. Yeah, but even your graphic art stuff too, do you do that on the iPad as well?
yes.
Or do you like to cool.
Some of my graphics art stuff, like, you know, I mean, I kind of feel bad for saying this, but I haven't touched a drawing pad in like a couple of years now. Like, I know some artists is like, sacrilege, what are you doing? But I haven't, like,
That's so funny.
I mean, because it's just, you know, I have all my drawings there. Like, I can go back to years to see how I progressed. That's another thing that I like too, is I can see my progression and, you know.
Oh, that's so true, right? Because everything's in one place.
Everything
Right.
is in one spot. So, you know.
Oh, well, we've got some great comments here. So, Erin said, so talented. Joanne said, love this, so colorful. Jamie said, I love the collages because they show such a range. Angela said, I work in a middle school and my kids would love your drawings. They span across all ages. That's so true. Thank you, Angela. Good point. Michael said, awesome. And right, and Jamie was saying, she was saying the same thing as before as me. But this is really great, Gerard. You're so talented. And thank you so much for contributing this to the gallery so that our patrons could enjoy as well.
Oh, no problem, man. You know, I just, digital art is art too, so you know, I want to try.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. You might have missed it, Ocaria, but Jackie at the bottom says too, do you give classes? My 13-year-old son would love this.
There you go.
You know, it's funny. It's come up a lot of times. You know, at the high school that I helped create the logo for Elmont, they've asked me a couple of times, like, have you considered doing class? I was like, you know, it's a thought. I mean, I don't give classes, but I'm more than happy to help and give advice and stuff like that, you know.
Right. Well, is your did you link your social media accounts or your contact
Yes,
info to the website, to the About the
yes.
Artist page? Great. So Jackie, you can definitely check out there and contact Gerard if you'd like some advice. And Angela said, you should. I work and live in Brooklyn and the kids would love you. Yeah.
How
And
do you leave a comment?
oh, there's a symbol, a little chat symbol, like it looks like a comic chat bubble. If you click on that, you could write.
I'm not seeing that. Okay, I got to figure that out because I wanted to leave comments for everybody. Unless, are you there? Your little picture maybe is in the way. I don't know. I got to figure this out.
Sorry, Victoria. I'm not familiar with the phone template as well, the Zoom phone template, so I don't know exactly like.
Yeah, I'm on the iPad.
Right. All right. So now, last but not least, the moment we've all been waiting for. It's time for our featured artist, Earl Dawson. Earl, do you want to come on? I'm so excited to have Earl as our first featured artist for our first virtual gallery. Earl has exhibited before at the library, and we love his work so much.
And Carrie, just before Earl comes on, Michelle, who is on the iPhone for Victoria, said click on the 3 dots. That should get you to the chat on a phone or iPad. So
got it.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you. Thanks, Michelle, and thank you, Jamie. All right, great. So, Earl, let me just pull up the first picture here. Earl, do you want to come on and say a few words? Yes, you're on.
Oh, terrific. Okay. Well, this is my standard introductory photograph. It's something I took in London, 1989. I was with my SLR camera and 3 big rolls of black and white film. And I saw this, I walked past it, I took the picture. And unfortunately, I never thought of going in to see what it was all about. I have since gone back to see it many, many times, online and in a book, but I just thought the image just captured what I always thought photography was about.
Well said.
And today I want to talk about flowers and trees. I've been taking pictures for a very long time, almost 40 years, and springtime, the flowers, the color are just compelling. So these rainbow tulips, these are in, I'm gonna hold that there. These are in St. Luke's Garden in the West Village, which was very convenient because I worked like 4 blocks away. And then the next one, these yellow tulips are on the north side of 42nd Street, right near Grand Central Station, in this gigantic concrete pot. And then this particular thing is artichoke flowers. I actually didn't know what they were. We were in the south of France at an open garden, and they had flowers and vegetables for sale and everything. And I saw all these bees, and it was just wonderful. I never realized that if you let artichokes grow, they will actually sprout flowers like this. It's just spectacular. And then this is in Maine, Somersville Footbridge, which I had read about, and you can it's just gorgeous. This is the Senaque Abbey in the south of France, and the lavender is kind of, this photographs I've seen in book covers and many other places. It's really, really gorgeous to see.
Yeah, and all at once, it's so breathtaking to see all of it. You know, it doesn't even look like lavender. They're just like these long rows of purple.
Really
it's
something.
Amazing.
Really
yeah.
something. But anyhow, in the winter months, so you can hold it here. In the winter months, I've been collecting flowers, so I I buy different kinds of flowers and put them on a light box to kind of see how they work out. These are alstromerias. They're South American lilies. But in any case, they're not they're translucent, and if you could kind of flip through the next 3 or 4, they come in different colors, and if you change the lighting, it really gives you some spectacular stuff. It kind of reminds me of some old English China designs that you can see here and there. I also worked with tulips, although the tulips you have to kind of take the petals off to make them translucent. The flowers themselves obviously are not, but the petals are thin enough for the light box to kind of pick it all up.
Wow,
and again,
so
changing that colors, just the lighting a little bit gets you there. If you could hold it here, the roses.
Sure.
The roses are obviously not translucent. Granddaughters brought these over in January on a visit, and they were very, very nice. But later on, as the petals started to fall off, I got this idea about maybe taking those astromerias again, and this is what the next few are the result of that. I put them on a black drop, which was which was actually a tablecloth, a black tablecloth, and then just arrange the astromerias on the rose petals in different kinds of designs, just to see what they look like. And some of them are quite appealing, I think.
And I'll actually just so that we don't get too far into the photos before we lose the comments. Gerard was saying those colors are great. Aaron said magnificent. Victoria said these are beautiful. And Angela was saying those roses don't even look real. Unbelievable. Yeah, I agree, Angela.
They were, well, if you give them a little light, they really pop. They really pop in color.
Right. So let me just flip through these. These are so cool. I love what you did here.
Okay, so okay. And the other flowers that I do is water lilies. This one happened to be in the Getty Villa in Santa Monica. But my favorite places are the Bronx Botanical Gardens. They have water lilies indoors and out. All year round, the indoors, obviously, and then the outdoor stuff, like this one, probably 8 months of the year, usually early spring all the way there. This is one of the indoor ponds. And the outdoor stuff runs probably all the way to October. You can see some of the flowers. But I've been visiting those, the botanical gardens for many, many years. Now, this is the segue for trees. These are flowering trees, cherry trees in the Brooklyn Botanical Garden. And I've always loved how the blue sky, the color of the trees, everything else is really, really neat. But what's really, really appealing to me is the activities that go on during the day. If you go to the next one, there's these two young ladies laying out yoga mats. There's people relaxing, sitting over here. There's a policeman directing traffic, people walking around. But it's really, really neat. And in the next one, what I found really appealing was the little girl dancing over on the left and other kids kind of playing around. It's like a really, really nice, springtime in Brooklyn. It's just a really appealing picture.
And I just love how you capture, it's almost like a tunnel of flowers going all the way down, and you can see all the trees. It's so clear and crisp, the colors in this photo.
The botanical garden people are just so efficient. We missed it completely this year, but this one I think is 2017. But I've been going not religiously every year, but just about every year for the last 4 or 5 years.
Oh,
Because there's always different visitors, different opportunities, time of day, and the lighting.
right. And like Jackie was saying before, you never know what you're going to catch, you know?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Now, if you want to take pictures of trees, however, the Mariposa forest, it's a little piece of the Yosemite National Park. These particular trees are well over 200 feet tall. I was nice enough for the 2 tourists down there at the foot of it to stand still for just 1 minute so I could take their picture to give you some perspective on just how big these trees are. And nearby to Yosemite is a place called Sequoia National Park. This is the General Grant tree. They named them after a variety of people. There's a Clara Barton tree. The next one is the Great Grizzly tree. This thing is like 250 feet tall. They're just spectacular. You really have to figure out where to position yourself to take the whole tree. I mean, it's really, this you can do because there's open spaces in front of it. But in the next one, the General Sherman tree, which is almost 300 feet tall, you can't get far enough away to get the whole tree. You actually, the foliage at the top just covers everything. But this, you can see like the first 150 feet of it. These are regular pine trees. However, they're within wind coming off of the Bridal Veil Fall in Yosemite Park. So these trees, the bark almost never gets dry. When it does dry out, the moss grows like I've never seen it. These haven't really been touched up much. The little reddish off on the right is different, but the green, that's what these trees look like in the morning. I mean, it's just really unusual, very unusual.
Oh, I'm so happy you captured it, though. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Really neat. Now, these are just like aspen trees in the Grand Teton National Park, but they've always appealed to me with the black and white of the trunk and the yellow flowers that are around it. And then there are trees like after the fact. So trees that didn't make it. They kind of died, dead trees. But the stumps are, to me, really, really interesting, intricate thing. Some less interesting than others, but that one's good. This particular one, it fell over well before I got there. But it was, and someone was nice enough to take my picture while I was walking past it. But that puts me on to like dead trees. And in the national parks, I visited Grand Canyon a long time ago, and I've been back about 5 or 6 times. And what I always found were these dried out old trees, but they're still standing, and the spectacular way the branches like arms reaching up, but you still have Grand Canyon sitting right behind the whole thing. The next one is Yosemite National Park. Those are the Yosemite Falls behind it, and another very, very old tree that died. About 5 years after I took this picture, I was back at Yosemite, and tree fell over. There was no way to take this picture again. I mean, it was just, and then I went back through other visits to national parks to find, like, I'm always taking these pictures, these old dead trees, but sitting on the edge of the canyon, in Bryce Canyon, and in the next one is Mammoth Springs in Yellowstone National Park, where like the heated spring had already not only killed the tree, but turned it black. It was just like eerie to look at. And then there's one other one from the Grand Canyon. Again, it's just like a spectacular, like arms reaching out to the canyon itself. And then in Grand Canyon, you can find live trees and sunset, which was right on the edge of the canyon, but looking away, obviously, from the edge, and just spectacular.
Sorry about that. I
It's
clicked out of
okay.
the picture by accident. Hold
It's
on.
all right.
So sorry. Oh no. Just give me 1 second. It just takes a little while to load.
I know.
All right. In the meantime, I'll read you some of the comments that have been coming up as you were talking. When the cherry blossoms came up, everyone was saying they'd love to visit the Brooklyn Botanical Gardens when they're in bloom. They used to visit there a lot when they lived there. They love the trail of shadow down the middle too. I meant to say that with when the cherry blossom picture was up. And the moss trees. Jamie was saying that it's one of her favorites. And Will was asking, was the exposure on the mossy trees done when taking the photo, or was this an after effect?
There is more after effect. The photo itself, though, the color was green. I mean, it may not have been as yellowish green, but the moss, was lit up in different colors. I think part of it because of the water mist that was in the air that morning, it kind of like highlighted it, brought it out even further because the moss was wet. But anyhow, sunset in Grand Canyon, and then different venue of just sunset in Marco Island, but trees and sunsets, they seem to go together. Now, this is one of my favorite spots, the lone cypress tree at Pebble Beach in California. If I have 10 of these, I must have 100 different views of it from 4 or 5 different visits. But in any case, what I really liked was when you take this photo and adjust it to become black and white. And in black and white, to me, the photo is more eye appealing. I don't know why, but I like to see things in black and white every once in a while. And this particular photo is one of my favorites.
And you could see all the details. I mean, from the waves to the rocks in the black and white one too. The details really come out.
And those little birds off on the right-hand edge of the rocks.
Right there.
Yeah, you catch what you. I was concentrating on the tree. The birds were just kind of like a throw-in.
Right.
But in any case, then there's like trees that people really enjoy. Arch trees. This is Literary Walk in Central Park. Best time for this is like late spring when the green is there, but it's in lighter colors, and you can still get more light coming through the tree limbs, and in like early fall, it's a similar type of thing. The trees are, but some of the leaves have left but it's just really spectacular to see it, and for the people that are enjoying it.
It's a beautiful part of Central Park. And in the fall, when it's all the fall foliage, I think that's the cover of the When Harry Met Sally movie.
Yeah.
They're right in that archway.
Right. And this is what I call the road home, which was a path from a restaurant that we were eating at in Cape Breton in Canada. But it just like a little bit of fog in the background, and it just kind of, the path goes through the trees, the green, everything else was eye appealing to me.
Oh, gorgeous.
And then there's the Charleston, South Carolina waterfront. park and the same kind of thing, the trees and the archways. We never got to Savannah, but in Savannah, outside of Savannah, there are many old plantations, but farmers now that have the same kind of effect. You know, a long road with the line of trees, and they're mossy trees, not like those other ones, but like with moss hanging from the trees.
Right, right.
And then for this exhibit, I thought we'd have almost everybody's favorite tree, the tree at the 30 Rock. I try to take that picture every year. I'm more successful early on. The people at 30 Rock they take over all of the good spots and then will sell you pictures that they take for you.
Yeah, that's true.
However, if you show up early in the morning or some other times, then you can kind of sneak in and take them there. But anyhow, this was my attempt to capture like different kinds of trees, new ones, old ones. And this one falls into the category of it's sort of still alive, but it's not going to be alive forever. But it's a really, once they put it into this particular situation, it's really spectacular.
Oh, that's great. And I love, that was a great idea to end on this one, because you're right. It's kind of a full circle moment with the live trees and then the dead ones. This one was perfect. And it is everybody's favorite tree. This is a great capture too that you got. Thank you so much, Earl.
Oh, thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, it's an honor for us. Jamie was saying that she went to school in New Paltz, and one of her favorite things about going on hikes is seeing all the dead trees. I always find them so interesting and wonder what their story was. Me too, Jamie. Same. Heidi was saying, been there to Joshua Tree in Pebble Beach a few times myself, and it's beautiful. The road home pic looks like a scene in a movie. It does, Heidi. I thought the same thing. Jamie said she went to Savannah last year, and the live oaks with the Spanish moss are just amazing. Couldn't get enough of them. Oh, I would really love to go there. That's on my top 10 list. Gerard said, it's all a hustle, LOL, when you were talking about the photos. And Michelle said, thank you. And really, thank you from all of us, Earl. This was a treat, seeing all of your photography. It's really beautiful. And it's an honor for us, for the Oceanside Library, to have all these photos in our first ever virtual art gallery. To all the artists today, thank you so much. Because of you, we are able to have this amazing virtual art gallery, you know? So thank you so much. You all need to give yourselves a round of applause.
Thank you.
Because you guys are awesome. And thank you for coming tonight and sharing your work and your questions and comments. We really appreciate it. Thank you, everyone.
I want to chime in real quick myself. Actually, I'll put myself back on camera just very briefly. So hi, everyone. I just want to say thank you as well. It's nice to see everyone's faces, and all of your artwork was fantastic. And it was such a pleasure for me to be able to go through everything and put it up on the site and put it all together to really showcase
Good job.
everything that you guys have to show. So thanks. It was great.
Thank you, Jamie. Because if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have had this super professional website. I mean, guys, doesn't it look like a museum's virtual exhibit? It's like, It's just so well done, Jamie. Thank you so much.
Asha.
Bye, everybody.
Proud to be part of it.
Oh, thank you. All right. I hope everyone has a wonderful night. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Bye, everyone.
And remember that the art will be up for the month of June. So check it out as long as you'd like.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Take care.
Stay safe.
You too.